Good evening, everyone. After 1 year, we meet again at BioInnovation Awards 2025 to celebrate creativity, to celebrate talent, to celebrate science and technology as the tools for solving the most pressing problems of nowadays. Welcome to the grand finale of Lifbee Academy. I'm very happy to see you, all of you here, our participants, alumni, mentors, collaborators, partners, friends. Welcome here. I also want to welcome all the new faces who are joining us for the first time. We hope you have a wonderful time tonight and enjoy seeing our impact from the first row. And last but not least, welcome all the people who couldn't be here today present physically, but are joining us through the online stream. Tonight, you will see the 8 months of human effort, or results of 8 months of human effort. 8 months of ideation, 8 months of trying, 8 months of failing, and trying again. You will see 22 amazing people from 7 teams who spent last year trying to come up with ideas which would contribute to the issues connected to human health and environmental sustainability. And they also try to do it in a commercially sustainable way. You will see the competition in 2 streams, Life Science stream and EnviroTech stream. And before we start, I would like to thank Spot for this amazing space we are here today, and MacArthur for providing us all the drinks you can see and taste over there. We will go through the agenda, and I will tell you what you can be excited about for today. But first, let's start with the official opening of Lifbee Academy Finale 2025. And I would like to invite here our 2 co-founders of Lifbee Academy, who started this lovely tradition of us meeting every year. So please welcome on the stage Simona Held-Vesela and Matěj Held.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, let me warmly welcome you to this evening's event. We are all united by a shared dream to create a region that is not only modern, but one that can hold global significance in the world of innovation. This ambition is within each of us, and today's presentations by 7 teams showcasing their innovative project prove that we are moving in the right direction. In our team, we regularly ask, what does it take to make this vision a reality? Answer is simple. We need to ensure that an entrepreneurial and talented people choose to stay here, come here, and create value. To do that, they need opportunities. They need to connect with like-minded individuals and need space to bring their ideas to life. That's why this year, for the first time, we have decided to hold this event in English. We believe that talent we have here has potential to inspire the world, and we want to increase its impact even further. This evening is about connection, creating value, and about having courage to shape the future. I thank you, and I wish you an inspiring and successful evening.
Good evening, everyone. It feels incredible to be here tonight. Lifbee Academy has come a long way since we started. This is already our 5th year. Lifbee Academy is an educational program and innovation incubator. By incubator, we mean a space where we nurture young scientists and innovators from various universities and industries to create their own innovative ideas using life sciences and environmental technologies. With this year cohort, we will have 120 alumni of the program. Over the past 5 years, we've connected Slovak and Czechs from the region and abroad, bringing them together to meet, collaborate, and grow. This 5-year journey has already borne fruit. The first startup from Lifbee Academy received investment, and another promising startup is emerging right now. Many of our alumni started their careers in the innovation environment, and some of them even launched their own projects supporting science, innovation, and education. On this special occasion, I would like to mention our today's keynote speaker, Pavol Praženica. When Pavol joined the program, he was a medical student at his university. Just 2 years ago, he stood on this very stage presenting his idea with his team, but he didn't continue with the project. Now, he's inspiring others as the CEO and co-founder of new innovative technology startup. I want to thank everyone who has supported us, helped us connect, and contributed to something truly meaningful. For context, over 25 companies, 60 experts and professionals have been supporting us over the years. I want to specifically thank our partners, to our lab patrons, top contract research organization Sanaklis, producer responsibility organization EnviroTech, and the biotech incubator and venture builder INI Prague. Our main partner, Tipsport Foundation. Our partners, EduValue, CB Investment Management, the ESET Foundation, the Research and Development Center under NVN Group, and KBE Systems. Thank you to the ČSOB Foundation for supporting the project with their grant this year, as well as our growth partner, Brichta and Partners, and the Spot for hosting us here. Thank you. The list doesn't end here. I would also like to acknowledge our content partners, Pipette and Chart, Martina Luterová, Kovač Services, Bosenburg, Peter Šimurka, Timan, IOCB Tech, Marineo, and the Campbell Institute of Intelligent Technologies. Thank you all for your support. Now to this year's participants. Over the past 8 months, each one of you spent more than 200 hours working to improve yourself in the process of scientific innovation, even sacrificing some of your Saturdays, and I think that's something. So please, enjoy this evening, don't stress too much, and have fun during your presentations, because you really earned it. Thank you.
Thank you, Simona. Thank you, Maciej. So now let's pass the word to someone who represents the company which is supporting Lifbee for many, many years. It was already mentioned during the Sima's speech. He's the vice president of Sanaklis, our partner, and once again this year, who is holding a patronage over Life Sciences Lab. For the second consecutive year, Sanaklis has been named one of the Slovakia best managed private companies, awarded by Deloitte. So please, congratulations to this success, and please welcome on the stage Mr. Marian Kulich.
Good evening to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, dear organizers, innovators. It's a really big honor to be with you here, not for the first time, I must point out. Sanaklis is cooperating with Lifbee for a couple of years, and it's a really big honor to be with you here and to support your program, your incubator for scientists and non-scientists alike. This year brings again new projects with a lot of interesting ideas, with the effort and aim to be creative, to be innovative, and aim to even improve public life, patient life, and their well-being, potentially saving costs, potentially saving governmental funds and budgets. So I believe that even though the competition are considered to always have a one winner, I would like to stress and reassure you that everyone is winner this evening here. So, and for all those participants in this competition, for all of you who are pushing boundaries, who try to for the best, bringing and trying to even jump over obstacles, seeing them as challenges. I wish you all the best for this evening. And I believe you all join me to wishing them having a lot of fun and enjoy this evening. Thank you very much.
Okay. So the next person I would like to invite on the stage, unfortunately couldn't be here in person today with us, but we'll connect with her virtually. She's also someone who we cooperate with from the very beginning of Lifbee Academy, and she's also part of EnviPack, our patron organization for EnviroTech Lab. In November last year, they managed to organize, I think we already hear her, but I will not introduce to you her yet, so just give me one more minute. So in November last year, they managed to organize an excellent premiere of Envi Summit conference focused on sustainability and eco-design, during which they managed to get a speech from well-known environmental activist Leila Ajaroğlu from Australia. First time ever she performed in Central Europe. So very good job, congratulations to this success. And please welcome Director of Communication from EnviPack, Katarina Kreter.
Dear ladies and dear gentlemen, dear friends, first of all, I'm very honored to be here with you on this inspiring and exceptional event for the 5th time. And I hope I counted it correctly. And this time, however, only this way, online, because the flu doesn't make a difference. So I'm with you only virtually. Every summer, together with Simona and Maciej, we search for the themes for Enviro Lab, and we try to find some themes that are inspirational, that won't be limiting for the participants, and they can then come with meaningful projects. And now, a few days ago, I was reading the annotations for the project, and I have to say I am extremely proud. I'm extremely proud of all participants, especially of those who, during our hackathon that took place in the summer, didn't know much about environmental issues. And I must say they have done a great job in record time. And we will soon get to know the projects that really fulfilled the brief, the soul of the theme of this time and environmental lab. But I'm extremely proud of something else. No, something, but someone, because I am really proud for the entire Lifbee Academy team. First and foremost, the co-founders Simona and Maciej, who had a vision, let's call it 6 years ago, and that vision was daring. And to build a platform that will be welcoming and hosting, concentrating talents from several parts of science and fields to help them develop their dreams and guide them to future opportunities. And I take my hat off. I must say that they have succeeded in fulfilling this daring and really big vision. And every year they not only bring to light new participants prepared for their future, but also whole teams, entire teams that are more experienced, more prepared, and they are waiting for their opportunities. And Slovakia is a small country, and I think too many things don't work as they should. But to be more personal, I must say that it makes sense for Simona and Maciej to stay here, to open doors and provide support to others. Not everything is completely lost, and for me, it is really something like the faith into humanity restored. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Katka. And the third person I would like to invite here is Jiří Moss, the CEO of INI Prague. And you should know that Jiří is not only co-founder, but also inventor of patented technology developed by startup Sofomer. And this startup very recently won a prestigious Neuron Award for addressing a real market need and for its Enviro approach, replacing raw materials of animal origin. Congratulations, and Jiří, stage is yours.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to thank Simona and Maciej and all the Lifbee team to invite us to that wonderful event. And every morning, I read the newspapers telling me, okay, we are losing the cheap energy sources, our steel mill, chemical, and even automotive industry are getting into problem and maybe even get bankrupt, and our future may be doomed. I apologize. I don't buy this concept at all. Why? Because every crisis brings about also the new opportunities. We just need to change our mindsets and start to look for it. I give you the quite concrete example. Our most successful exit is a startup company, Diana Biotechnologies. And Diana Biotechnologies started their way to success by properly answering the challenges of the COVID crisis. And right now, the Diana Biotechnologies is not a startup anymore. It's a well-established biotechnology company with 100 employees and with a diversified portfolio. So for me, the solution for these challenges are quite simple and obvious. The solutions are new ideas, new technologies. Solutions are you. So I will not only keep my fingers crossed, but I offer you my support and support of all my colleagues from INI Prague on your way to success. Thanks a lot and have a good luck.
So thank you very much to all the partners. And now let's talk what is ahead of us for today or tonight. There are 4 major agenda blocks we can be excited about. We start with a presentation of 3 teams from the Life Sciences Lab, roughly about 1 hour. Then we have a short break. We follow with 4 presentations of EnviroTech Lab, also approximately 1 hour. Then we are going to talk with our keynote speaker about AI startup Medannot. It was already mentioned during the speeches. And shortly after 9, we plan to close the official program with big announcements of results of BioInnovation Awards and the winners of this year's Lifbee Academy. And then, of course, the official program is over, but we can network and party until approximately 11. So let's kick off the Life Sciences Lab. The patronage of this lab is held by Sanaklis and INI Prague, and every participant will receive the certification and special package from those 2 partners. And this year's assignment was very simple. We all know that our healthcare system is heavily overloaded, number of patients, complicated processes, lack of automatization. Our participants were asked to come up with such innovation or technology that will fix it in any way they consider relevant. Before we begin, I have 2 instructions for you to follow. For teams, each of you has 3 minutes to present your idea. After the time is up, the gong will be played. After the gong, please stop presenting. And this will be followed by 8 minutes of Q&A and discussion with the jury. For everybody else in the room and on the online stream, we are right now opening a public voting for most interesting or the best team's performance of this evening. So just go, if you want to participate, just go to slido.com and use hashtag Lifbee, so you can submit your vote, and there is a special prize for this public choice award for the best team of this evening. And we will come back to that at the very end of our program. And now we have three amazing people here with a deep understanding of life sciences industry, who will listen, challenge, and evaluate this year's participants' presentations. So please welcome Marian Kulich, the VP of Clinical Research Organization Sanaklis, with over 20 years of experience with global healthcare systems, clinical supply chain operations, and venture building. David Stíbal, the Vice Director of Biotech Incubator INI Prague, with long years of international scientific experiences combined with knowledge in business, intellectual property rights, and startup formation. And Marek Hitka, the Brand Manager of Takeda Innovation Center, also supporting innovation communities in Slovakia for many years. So let's move to the first presentation of this evening, which will be delivered by team Microverse, consisting of biomedical engineer Iveta Pajanova, oncology PhD student Patricia Munteanu, and student of molecular biology Alexandra Gavulova. Please, team Microverse.
Hi everyone. So, in Slovakia, 60% of people do not go to the preventive health care. 40% of these people claim they don't go there because of lack of time. This was quite striking to us, and we decided to see if this is the case, so we performed our own survey analysis with 111 participants, and we found out their pains and needs. So most of them don't go because of difficulties to test or difficulties in getting appointments, far distance from their doctors, long waiting times, poor communication with their doctors, but most prevalent was people do not have time. And I agree with that. I also don't have time. And I guess in the audience, you are all familiar with that. Therefore, we came up with a product where the customer can order their kit online, receive it at home, finger prick, collect up to 1 milliliter of blood, send it to our partner certified labs, and within a few days they can receive the results of their health in their phones. In this way, the customer receives an overview of their health in a discreet, flexible, convenient, and available at your door. Here you can see a list of parameters that will help you to live a better, more energetic, and healthier life. You might ask, who will buy this? Here is Jano. He is a busy professional. He doesn't have time to go. Here is Beata. She cares about her family and will buy it for her children. Here is Sima, a vegetarian who needs to get her blood tested regularly. Moreover, we can go to B2B and make partnerships with the insurance companies or employers. Moreover, every business needs to be scalable. Therefore, keeping the same logistics, we can provide many other parameters, such as female hormones, minerals, or anonymously testing for STIs. The Slovak medical professions are on our side on that. And moreover, we are already in the phase of partnering up with Medirex, for example, who supports us and believes we are heading in the right direction. And moreover, we already set up a pilot plan to validate our idea. And if you are interested how our kit will look like, Yvette, my colleague, will show you what it will include. And with that, we would like to thank everyone, especially the mentors who helped us to shape this project the way you see this. Thank you.
so we can proceed to the questions from the jury.
Maybe I could start with the first question. It's a more or less a general one. Have you already initiated any discussion with insurance companies for a future reimbursement, for example?
We thought about this, so we have it in our plans, but we did not go there yet, but it's definitely in our plans.
So in the first idea is to let patient pay these tests fully in a pharmacy. This is my understanding correct?
Yeah, they either can buy it online or in a pharmacy. Yeah. So we also thought of maybe selling it in Bila or Dr. Max, but so there are a lot of possibilities, of course.
It's already possible to somehow indicate the selling price or range you plan to sell it?
Yes, so the range would be between 80 and 90 euros per kit.
Thank you.
Thank you from my side as well. I know it's challenging to present everything in 3 minutes. It's actually impossible, right? So the first general question from my side would be your unique selling point. In other words, how do you differentiate yourself against, I would say, the many solutions out there? Not all of them being at-home kits, but there are solutions, right? There's a service that you can sort of pay for in general screening and prevention screening and all those things. So what's this unique selling point of your idea?
Yes, so in comparison with our competition on the Slovak market, we provide this kit at home, so the customer can do it whenever he wants from the comfort of their own home. Moreover, if we would go into STIs, we had a lot of discussions, and apparently this is the most sold kit. People want to have it anonymously, and no one actually provides that, and we will be able to do this.
But then you still need a doctor to actually read the results and communicate with the customer? Is there still sort of interaction with the doctor as you?
Yes, but the company that would produce the kits, of course, they will have the GDPR things, so I think we can make it really safe.
Right, thanks.
Thank you for the interesting presentation. I would have maybe 2 questions. The first is, you say people have no time. That's true. I myself try to find the time, but how can you ensure the accuracy of the test being made at home compared to those which are being taken at the doctor's office? Because we usually know that if people don't have time, they probably won't be that much full of skills to do that at home. Is it really simple, or have you measured the percentage of unsuccessful tests?
So I have to say I did it myself because I wanted to test how this would work. I mean, it requires a bit of skill, but I guess like everyone, that's a bit like, it's possible. So it's possible to get this 1 ml. And we are aware of the risks that there will be like samples that we need to return. This is, of course, we will count it as a risk. And then in this case, we can call the customer and then request a second sample. So we are aware of these risks, yes. And about the accuracy for the parameters that I showed, there are companies in Germany, for example, that already do this. They are certified for that. Moreover, we found clinical trials that confirm that venous blood or capillary blood for these parameters should be similar, so accurate.
And what would you consider to be the most innovative element of your solution? Because compared also similarly, as my colleagues sitting here, we've seen many companies offering this kind of service. They even come to your office, do it to all your employees. So what's the most innovative element of your solution?
I would say it's the combination of having it at home with, I didn't mention it, but we also plan to have an upsell. For example, if a person sees something is upregulated or downregulated, we could offer like a telemedicine where the person could contact a doctor directly. So I would say it's just the combination of some other innovations that are out there. So we are aware it's not like a super innovative idea, but it's not on the Slovak market. So this is about this.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
You mentioned that you somehow compare the efficacy or accuracy of your test with the German ones. So what is your plan and your ideas about the scaling and selling your product beyond Slovak boundaries, worldwide or in Europe at least?
So you're asking about the scaling up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so currently we are talking to Medirex. They seem to be interested. It's still nothing clear, but they would have the capacity. Then we were thinking, this would be Slovakia will be the pilot plan, right? And then we were thinking about Poland, for example, a potential customer, or market, sorry, and then maybe Hungary and these countries.
And maybe my question, it's regarding the validation of the testing, because accuracy, comparing data with your test with the German one is something different. Did you, or have you validated your test with the regular test done in ambulances and ongoing in a regular way?
Yeah, so basically the meeting that we have with the representative from Medirex, we discussed that we are going to, and they are interested in that, we discussed that we will take like 20 samples, venous blood, capillary blood, and we want to prove on our own that this will be the same. But I know that there are companies in Germany, Austria that do this, and I assume they would not just do it if it was not accurate.
In terms of this differentiation between the venous blood and the capillary blood, I'm not sure if I fully grasp your kit, but you're taking the capillary one? Or
exactly.
Both, right. But then in terms of scaling, which is also mentioned here, do you think you have a limited amount of tests you can actually use for this? Or do you plan to sort of invent yourself or adapt to the newly invented technologies to use the capillary blood for tests that are so far not possible?
This is a great idea. So far, we know that we can expand beyond the parameters I showed you here. But as I said, Medirex said they have also the Department of Science. So I guess we could also partner up with them and test also other different parameters that maybe no one checked. And this would be personally an interest for me. So I think there is a possibility to scale it up also for parameters that no one ever checked that it's possible from the capillary blood. So this is a good idea.
Okay, and to follow up on that, this would technically create your own IP within the company or the project. Can you comment on your current IP or the IP that you would consider yours in the startup?
Yeah, so I think so far we did not discuss about this. Yeah, and we are aware that this is really easy to kind of copy this idea. So we are aware of this. So we should be fast.
Thanks.
Maybe one more question. It's just from life, I would say. If you could more elaborate on what types of health insights and recommendations. May I finish or stop?
So I think we can finish the question.
Finish the question. So what kind of insights will the customer get, and what kind of reviews will they receive from doctors?
Yes, so the plan is that we will also hire a doctor who would interpret maybe the results. So this would be if it's elevated or not, some types, but we will not give recommendations. So in case something is downregulated, we will ask them to visit a doctor. So we don't provide like really recommendations because we are not able to.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, microwaves. Just please take a picture. Take a picture as a team. And meanwhile, I would like to introduce the next presentation, or presentators, by team NERV, consisting of biotechnology student Veronika Smolková, database specialist Miro Kozel, and medicine student and biophysics department scientist Matúš Pukanec. So just give them a couple of more seconds, and please, stage is yours.
Thank you very much for the word. So let's start. Everyone will wonder a patient, and everyone is willing to stay in the hospital as short as it is possible. But unfortunately, around every 10 patients is going to get infection from the hospital space and has to stay there around 10 days. This is a big problem, a global one. Only in Europe we have more than 1 million cases, with each case costing the hospital around 20,000 euros, which makes the cumulative losses of around 28 billion. The data is the key to combat the infections, but there are several problems with them, as you can see. But we as a team are willing to use our technical knowledge to remove the nut from the equation and make the data a true bio. Our solution is a software as a service which we will provide to the hospitals, which will integrate data from multiple sources, displaying them in a simple user interface, and in this way making it possible to take measures and lower the infection rate. This is an example of a report from a hospital. As you can see, there is a lot of important data, but the problem is that it is separated. It's only this Excel sheet, and there are like thousands and thousands of more of them, and they are not connected. So we are willing to design, this is a prototype of our interface, with a free integrated data sets, and that's disinfection usage, laboratory results, so from microbiology, and environmental results, which will be later scaled on a 3-point scale and help the doctors and hygiene specialists take measures. To create this type of project, there is a need of a multidisciplinary team. Our chef of the technical staff, Miro Kozel, is going to lead the project. Development, I, as a medical student, have a clear contact with the experts in the relevant field. I have already initiated talks with the staff, and Veronica, who is currently studying abroad, will take care for the international partners. We are already proud to announce that we have found a partner for the development of the minimal product, and that's the International Institute of Child Diseases, the biggest child hospital in the Middle Europe. There are also some other competitors in the field, but our advantage is that we are integrating more data and combining them in a unique way. For the start, we wish to create a business model which takes business-to-business segment. We are going to cooperate with the hospital. There will be a subscription-based model based on the amount of beds, and our plan for the future in 2 years is to have 274 euro revenue with 3 clients with 300 beds. And to sum it up, we are looking for value financing to speed up our MVP and contact the first paying customers in the height of 500,000 euros. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. So we can proceed to the questions.
Hey, thanks for the presentation. First time I saw your project, I was like, wow, it sounds really and looks really interesting. But of course, there are a couple of questions. The first is, what data sources does your software use? And based on your contacts and discussions, will those who provide those data sources be willing to give you those sources of data? And the other one, if you could elaborate more on your algorithm, because probably this is the thing that is so special about this project. So these are the 2 questions I would like to ask.
So for the first questions, so we have discussed these 3 first things. So that's the disinfection use, the microbiological stuff. There are already projects which do this, and there are APIs with the laboratories, and the hospitals are more than willing to provide this. There's a big...
I just wanted to add that maybe the motivation for hospitals and healthcare providers could be also the potential of decrease the costs rapidly. And we are talking about €1 million. So this is the cost not only for the insurance companies, but also for hospital providers.
And we are also willing to provide them a cell for the starting hospitals, so they are more willing to provide the data. So it is a cooperation, so they do not lose anything.
Yeah, and to the algorithm part, we have the AI specialist Miro for that, and we will try to integrate the data sets firstly, and as an MVP use just 3 big groups of data, but we further identify big 7 groups of data and subsets which we will integrate, and then maybe Miro could elaborate.
I think that the algorithm is our IP, so the technical or the part of the algorithm is the secret, but that's the main point.
Oh, thank you. I didn't expect you to tell me, but I had to ask.
Just to make sure I understand this correctly, you're saying that currently the hospitals are not tracking how often they disinfect their rooms, their light switches and whatnot?
They are tracking it, but it's all very segmented. It is not in one system, which you have like 300 pages from that and then 300 pages from the microbiological system. So it is not possible for a hygienist to look all the pages and make a proper analysis and take measures.
And you can maybe imagine a cleaning lady going with the paper and, taking the tick or not taking the tick, so...
Well, that's a bit scary, but yeah. So then, on a more serious note, in terms of scalability, right? Does that mean that you have to adapt your system to every single hospital separately and then takes you a certain amount of time, or can you scale this up in a way that it applies to multiple hospitals at the same time?
Some hospitals use the same system. Of course, there are multiple, so we think it like that if we have one hospital with one system, it will be much simpler to work with the other hospitals. So we see the speed up in the process of acquisition.
And we also talked with Penta hospitals, which have kind of integrated system. So for 23 hospitals, I guess, it would be the same system.
Nice, thanks.
You also mentioned cooperation with microbiological lab. So what kind of data do you plan to get from them?
So we are willing to get the samples of the patients, which will be anonymized. We have already talked about this. So that we will only get the code of the patient and the bed, which is lying, so it won't be possible to identify the patient.
So I'm speaking about the resistance. So one data which potentially could be also evaluated are minimal inhibition concentration.
Yes, also the microbiological data. This is all done by the laboratory.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to a bit more of the financial part. You've mentioned you would like to raise $500,000 for your initial, I guess, start of the project. Did you already talk to any investors? Did you get their feedback, and do you know what they expect from a software such as this?
We were thinking about financing our project, and people who deal with money suggested that we should maybe think of a subscription model and like price per bed. But with the actual investors, we just had some discussions that were not very clear.
And we are also worried that also the European Union and World Health Organization has grants for this type of projects. So we are also willing to take a look more on this in the future.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Maybe one question for the end. Which hospital you think will be the first one that will buy your software?
Probably the private ones, or like the network of Penta or Agel hospitals. But on the other hand, the hospitals that are public have more or have bigger problem with those infections. So we talked with both public and private sector, and we plan to establish some initial partnership in which we will have their data and they will have our.
I'm actually waiting for 3 meetings next week, so we will see how it will go.
Okay, so thanks for the answer. If Penta buys it, then I'll be glad to attend your party. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Just proceed there to take a picture. And we are going to the final presentation of Life Sciences Lab, the third one overall during this evening. And it will be delivered by team Trombo 10, which consists of pharmacy student Natalia Penkova, molecular biologist Emma Nováková, and Doctor of Pharmacy with specialization in the field of pharmacy, Terezia Mrigotová. Please, Trombo.
Did you know that every year more than 500,000 of platelets are collected in the United States alone? Due to their versatile usage, platelets are crucial for over 50 different medical indications. That translates to over 3 million patients annually, potentially relying on platelet transfusions. The main problem regarding platelets is their limited 5-day shelf life. The predominant reason, platelet heterogeneity. During apheresis, a mixture of young, old, activated, aggregated, and damaged platelets is extracted from donors into a single container. This may lead to wasted resources and an annual financial loss of up to $350 million. Our vision is to improve patients' treatment by attaching an add-on device to an already operating apheresis machinery and together with biodegradable fluorophores, marking and separating platelets based on their physiology. Hence, young and old platelets would be segregated into respective containers and the unfit ones discarded. Our B2B strategy is catered towards transfusion centers, blood banks, and hospitals in countries with high platelet turnover and a high cost per single unit. Our revenue stream has multiple monetization opportunities. Firstly, our customers would pay separately for the add-on device. Additionally, the purchase of biodegradable fluorophores would create a stable, potentially scalable, recurring revenue. By 2030, R&D would be completed, small-scale production launched, and scaled up gradually. In the optimistic scenario, each device is priced at €500,000 with an estimated annual profit of €2 million. The initial R&D investment is estimated at €9 million. Potential funding strategies include tech hubs, venture capital, and angel investors. By addressing platelet waste and inefficiencies, our solution represents a paradigm shift in transfusion medicine, enhancing patient treatment while optimizing healthcare resources. However, we nevertheless seek to get in touch with more stakeholders to discuss their interest in our technology to bring it to those who need it most.
We can start with the questions.
Maybe an easy one for the beginning. I noticed that the purchase price of the equipment is around 500K.
Yes, €500,000.
But if I remember correctly, from the provided material, the loss of the platelets, for example, in Slovakia, is much lower. Does it make sense to introduce this in Slovakia, or does it mean that your primary focus will be on, as you mentioned, India and the US?
Exactly. We have been thinking about this, and we eventually decided to opt for countries with either high platelet turnover, where a lot of platelet is consumed, and also outdated, and with higher price, because in the US the prices are very much different based on the nations, based on the state. And it can be from 500, 6, 7, and sometimes even $1,000 per unit. So this would be our market that we would opt for, or maybe something like India, exactly, where they have a lot of patients, a lot of platelets, or maybe China.
And the second question would be, as a coincidence, I work for a company that's present on market in the US and also in India. What are your plans and how do you think you will handle the regulations there? Because US and India, it's not Slovakia, I can tell you right now.
Yeah, we have to admit it's a different world in terms of regulations. US is more regulated, and India, this is something that we have not yet discovered. So in case we really decide to pursue this idea, then we would really need to get into the regulations, because we're neither a medical device, we're not a drug, we're something in between. We still have certain contact with patient samples. So this is something for us in the future to have a look into, and really decide based on the country and based on the regulations which is the most fit for us.
So those weren't very easy questions, were they? On the side of the machine, so yours would be, if I understand correctly, sort of a cell sorting machine, right? Would you intend to have your own, or do you plan to adapt or kind of buy an already existing one?
We're planning to use a template of an already existing one and then make customization to adapt it to the apheresis device to make it really fit into it, so hospitals or transfusion centers don't have to throw their already purchased devices out and just attach it onto it. And then we would also have to add some cleaning systems, for example, a UV system, to really deliver a safe product and ensure that the platelets that go through the cell sorting system are safe.
And the fluorophores would be yours, or would you also be sourcing them somewhere else?
We would outsource them.
Okay, so then your IP in the project would be the combination of the two, or the machine itself?
The combination of the two, exactly.
Thanks.
So who and where are your competitors?
So if we take into consideration this exact idea we just presented to you, so far we have found only one company, only one patent that is using a very similar technology, but they're not using any fluorophores, any additional markers, nothing, no proteins, no molecular markers, and they're just looking at the morphology of platelets, so whether they're round or they have a disc shape. And we believe that this is not enough, because there is way more to the platelet biology than its morphology, and this would ensure us a more specific, more precise sorting of the platelets.
So it is company in the US, or?
It's a US company, yeah.
To how many days can you extend the life of the platelets with this device?
This is something that would have to be determined by our research, by our biology research. So far, I cannot really tell you if it will be 7, 8, 9 days, and yeah. So we would have to research this.
Does it make a big difference when it's not 5 and it's 7? Have you heard from potential customers that this is the game changer?
We still need to get in touch with our stakeholders to really confirm this. The physiological shelf life or physiological life of platelets is 10 days, so we cannot go beyond 10 days. But ideally, this 8-7 might be beneficial for them. But again, we have to really make sure if this is something they would really be interested in.
And connected to that, I'm not sure if I've missed that in presentation, but have you calculated, or can you calculate the savings per machine, given the price of it?
If we can calculate, sorry?
The savings, the financial savings that the potential hospital would get for the machine that they would purchase?
This we have not calculated, but it can be calculated because the losses of outdated platelets are known, also in Slovakia, in the US. You could search for them online. They're in publicly available databases or in research. So this could be enumerated.
Maybe my potentially typical question in terms of the investment, because looking at the US, your sought investment of about 9 million actually makes sense. Would you then be looking for this in the US, or do you plan any other location of the company or source of the investment funds?
I think the most reasonable solution would be to look for it in the US. Of course, we can split some research doing in Europe or outsourcing it somewhere else, but logistically, we have to think about this if this makes the most sense.
Thank you, Nati. Thank you, Emma. Please take a picture as a team. And that was it. There was 3 teams of this year's Life Sciences Lab. 3 ideas on how to improve the human health in our region. Thank you very much to the participants for your amazing presentations. Thank you very much to the jury members for your challenging questions. And now we take a break until 6:50. Please be back at 6:50 so we can start sharp. Prosíme vás zaujať miesta na sedenie. Please, I would like to welcome you back to your seats. So we can continue with the second part of our today's agenda. So please take a seat. I know you have very enjoyable conversation and interactions, but let's please come back so we can continue with the second lab. So welcome back everyone in the room and on the online stream. We are moving officially to the second part of the program. We are slowly proceeding to EnviroTech Lab. And the patronage of EnviroTech Lab is held by EnviPack, and every participant will receive a certificate and special package from this company. Green innovations, often perceived as more expensive and only for people who are willing to pay extra just for a good feeling of sustainability. Our assignment for this year, for the teams, was to come up with such solutions which will be either commercially competitive to the traditional products or create extra consumer value that justifies the higher price. And let me introduce you our expert jury for this section. So I would like to welcome Katarina Kreter, spokesperson and director of communication at EnviPack. During her career, she worked on various projects connected to technology and environment and led several campaigns connected to education of the public about sustainability topics. Please have an applause for Katarina. Second, Valentina Kavková, R&D specialist at Research Center under NVN Group with deep knowledge of byproduct assessment, circular economy, and valorization and higher valued compounds production. Welcome, Valentina. And Michal Nešpor, founder, investor, and currently partner at Crowdberry with over 17 years of experiences in venture capital funding across several European countries. So rules are the same as before. 3 minutes for the teams to pitch their ideas. 8 minutes discussion with the jury. And you can still vote for your most favorite team at slido.com, hashtag Lifbee. So let's kick off the EnviroTech Lab with the team Nitro, which consists of calculation and modeling expert Anna Podmanická, biochemist Marko Mečava, molecular biology student Matúš Grieš, and molecular biology student Miroslav Rozputinský. Team Nitro, stage is yours.
We have a question. Can we get a mic?
Momentarily. Have to wait for it.
You will receive the mic after the presentation.
Right. I want everyone here to remember the meal they've eaten last, starting with you.
Me? I think, yeah, I had a burger on the way over here.
You're not serious here. Okay, you?
Oh, I had a tofu.
Oh, tofu. So you have contributed to deforestation and you didn't get any methionine nor cysteine. Well, it's not just these two that have problems with proteins. The entire world does. We don't have enough. And what we have is either hard to digest or doesn't contain all the essential amino acids. We desperately need something new, and we need it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, NitroDuck delivers a revolutionary protein-rich power greens powder from the smallest but fastest growing plant in the world. Duckweeds contain as much protein as soy, but can double their biomass in just 2 days. Our team does it even better. We use synthetic biology to triple their production and cultivate them in scalable vertical hydroponic systems. That's how we pack 900 square meters of field into a single shipping container.
And this sets us apart. We deliver the highest quality, nutrient-packed, and affordable option for everyone who cares about their and the planet's health. The application potential of power greens is limitless. You can taste some and see for yourself. These cookies, baked with love and power greens, contain a lot of essential minerals and vitamins and are completely vegan.
We are working on our proof of concept right now, and we are creating our first prototype finishing by September. We are going to market Power Greens as a nutritional supplement and sell it to local companies who have already established distribution network. We are going to get our first revenue by December. Syneca Labs is already on board, and they have signed letter of intent. In early 2026, we will secure our pre-seed round, and with that, we are going to make 650 kilograms of Power Greens every single month, selling at $40 per kilo, which is pretty good, but
good is not enough for us. To end the protein crisis, we have to go big. With an investment of 2 million, we are making nearly 200 tons of Power Greens yearly, which allows us to lower the price and shift from just supplements to a much larger protein ingredient market. And now the numbers start to be much more interesting. NitroDuck has everything it takes to make this happen: drive, know-how, dedication, and this world-class academic guidance.
We are on a mission to make duckweed not 3 times, but 10 times better than soybean. To make the shift to plant proteins not only possible, but irresistible. Take the lead and choose duckweed.
Microphone. Tanto.
One, two, three. Very energetic presentation. Thank you for that. Before I taste your product, I have a few questions. You mentioned boosting production with synthetic biology.
We have. These cookies, for just clarification, are completely wild type. That means they're done from natural duckweeds you could find in nature. By the way, duckweeds these were made from are already approved as a novel food by European Union, so they're completely safe to eat. As for the modifications we plan to do, well, synthetic biology allows us to construct so-called NGT plants, which wouldn't qualify under GMO plants. And there's a huge push in the EU to loosen up the regulations surrounding the NGT plants, making them available for wide use even in the EU. But the regulation is much looser within the entire world, for example, the US.
Okay. Sorry, just jump in. I have a few other questions, because I really want to taste it, but I'm not sure. How far along are you with development of the product?
Well, the product is essentially just ground up and dried duckweed, so we're there. You can taste it.
Okay, so enlighten us with a bit of unit economics behind what you have shown: production, energy cost, gross margin, etc.
Can I get the slides, please? Or can I? Okay, never mind. We have a supplementary slide there. Okay, unit economics. There are 2 scenarios for, as you've seen, for the pre-seed with an investment of 150K to 200K, 200K, yeah. And then that's the seed around 2 million. Okay, so we have, let's say margins. The margin with the pre-seed, 150K, is around 130%. And I wanted to mention, the number of containers. We have 8 containers with a pre-seed of 150K. Operations cost are around, for 1 container, are around, for all those 8 containers are around 10K.
So, like, smiling over there about 130%. As we talk about the Syneca Labs, we made a lot of calls with them, and they told us that they're able to buy our product at 40 euros to 50 euros per kilo. So these numbers are not just made up, but they are really validated by the market and other potential partners.
And your production cost?
It depends on the scale we are going to make, but it's around, like, from around.
Yeah, that was, again, for the pre-seed, it's around 25 per kilo. And then with the 100 containers, we are able to, 100 containers we are able to have with seed, it's around $3 to $5 per kilo.
I have another.
What's your secret sauce? Why isn't anybody else doing it?
Right. To get duckweed to scale and make production sense at that scale, it's not easy. What we have is the ultimate vertical scalable container, which allows us to achieve the production rates at which this really makes sense. And then again, if we factor in the synthetic biology improvements we're able to make, the numbers again start to make sense. Why has no one done this with synthetic biology before? Well, duckweeds do not like transformations. But we are in contact with a lot of experts, as you may have seen, and we have a lab secured, and we're working on making it happen. The experts we're in contact with are very supportive, and we are quite convinced we can make it happen so that the production is as we've presented.
Okay, thank you very much for a nice presentation. I would like to ask, maybe it was mentioned, but I was impressed by the cookies. Sorry for that. I just wanted to ask, what is the impact of GM modification? How you can improve the properties of the final product by the GM modification or synthetic biology? And why you chose to start or to proceed with the GM?
All right, so I think we can split that into a really long one. So we chose to modify the organism to make it really make sense. Because what we can do is ramp up the production. So if we use the wild-type duckweed, which you were served now, it would be less, viable. But we can make the cells divide faster. We can make the duckweed grow bigger, which allows us to make it really economically interesting.
So,
we can even increase
only because of the growth of the duckweed.
No, basically with the synthetic biology and molecular biology tools, you can even enhance the percentage or the amount of proteins per certain biomass. So you can really play around once you optimize the transformation protocols and really boost up the plant in whatever manner you would like to. So either make it grow faster or make the protein intake or the percentage of the protein even higher, so then it's way more better than, for example, soy or pea protein that is now used right now.
Okay. I'd like to tell you about the huge vision behind all the project. We are fascinated by duckweed, as you might spot, and we are quite confident we are able to make everything in duckweed. Flavors, colorants, enzymes, and so on. And this is just the start.
Okay, thank you.
So no synthetic biology in that one?
No. As I mentioned multiple times, no synthetic biology. They're just pure nature.
By the way, SynBio is completely fine.
That's a conversation for another day.
Okay, thank you.
We have space for one more question from Katka, if there is any.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My question is, who cares? It means, what is the motivation of current companies that use proteins on the vegetable base to choose yours? Is it a price or significant features? What is it?
So there are many, but one of those we want to mention firstly is that there is the full amino acid profile, which vegans and vegetarians tend to have problem with, somehow taking all the essential amino acids from their protein sources. And again, another thing would be the price. Even without the synthetic biology, it makes sense and it's cheaper than, for example, soy. And with the synthetic biology, as Matusz told you, it gets way more interesting. So then there's the price. And even as we told with duckweed, we can produce so many things in it. And there's even potential of using it as a livestock fat to make immense environmental impact regarding this.
I can add also
Thank you very much.
I can add the nutrients Miro mentioned. Duckweeds are rich in omega-3s. We can even boost that, but we're not focusing on that yet. And also other minerals, for example, magnesium and vitamin E.
Thank you very much. Clicker. Thank you very much, Team NitroDAC. And we continue with the second presentation of EnviroTech Lab by Team Filora, consisting of open science specialist Zuzana Stožická, biochemistry student Zuo Yin, and business student Michaela Cibulková. We are connecting with Team Filora online because unfortunately they couldn't be here. So we just finished taking a picture of Team NitroDAC. And if we have a Team Filora online, then we can start. So Zuo, floor is yours. Once you start talking, the timer is up.
Welcome to our pitch deck from the Team Filora. We are set out to develop and sell a stretchy fabric that doesn't shed microplastics at all. So let's imagine a world where textile waste is not a burden, but it can biodegrade into harmless, non-plastic waste and form a cycle within the environment. The problem is, of course, microplastics. This is a plateful of microplastics, which we on average consume yearly. So 35% of microplastics in the environment come from synthetic textiles. That's why we're trying to solve this problem. We are proposing a plastic-free elastic fabric because we identified that elastic fibers are the contributors to the plastics in the fabric. We have contacted a Slovak lab that develops biodegradable elastic fiber, and we'll combine it with organic natural fibers that contribute to the characteristics of the fabric with beneficial properties. The market we identified is, of course, the niche market of biodegradable sportswear fabric, where we expect the market value to almost triple in 5 to 8 years. Our competition is mostly composed of either sustainable non-plastic fabrics or recycled plastic fabrics, which is more prevalent in this market. They use non-plastic elastic fibers such as Roika and lyocell, which is not very elastic from wood. And Lycra is one of our main indirect competitions, which is big in recycled plastic fibers, which we identify as not completely harmless because they still release microplastics. Our business model is that we will contact sportswear brands who, after they like our solution, will pressure their producers and let them choose our fabric, which is non-plastic. We are aiming to apply for a grant, which raises awareness because we have identified after conversations with industry people that there's still low awareness of this issue of microplastics. And after our MVP stage, we would reach the 0 point in year 3 with the R&D phase in between. So we are now focused on the raising awareness campaign, and thank you for your attention, and I'm ready.
Thank you, Zuo. And now I open the space for questions.
Okay, you mentioned in the annotation, the summary of your work, the price of 20 euros per kg. What is the baseline on this price? Did you some market research or something like that?
Through our financial calculation, and because we estimated the composition of the most expensive aspects of our fabric, which are organic cotton and the plastic-free elastic fiber, which is only predicted at 20% higher price than the LS stain, which is very common. So we basically tried to fit our price to reach the 0 point, and with a slight increase at the price, because the biodegradable plastic fiber does not contribute to the price that much. That's basically our idea.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
So what are your biggest challenges now towards developing a final product?
Our current situation is as follows. We are waiting for the Slovak lab led by Mr. Alexei, and their biodegradable fiber, which we would use in our fabric, which is expected to be finished and all the patenting process by within 2 years. That's why we are now aimed at spreading awareness. So the elastic fiber is our main challenge at the moment.
May I have a question?
Yes.
Thank you. For example, there are currently many companies that produce sport clothing made of 100% merino wool. This meets the targets of not containing the microplastics, and on the other way has the features the sportsmen and sportswomen need from the apparel they buy, and they are willing to invest more money because of the features the apparel has. For example, the breathability, and endurance, durability. I don't know what else. Also, maybe the form of the t-shirts after several washing cycles. So, where's the competition at your side? What is the added value of your product?
Yes. So I am aware of this competition, and we are relying on the property of the needed elastic fiber, because these monomaterials like merino or merino wool or lyocell, they only have a certain extent of elasticity, and if there's like high stretch needed, there's still need for an elastic fiber added into the fabric. Sorry, and we are relying on the properties of the other organic materials. For example, hemp, which is very antimicrobial and can retain heat and cool because of its unique porous structure, and yeah, it's the combination of more materials which are all biodegradable that we think is the advantage.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are no more questions, I can have one.
Yes, please.
Okay. What's the motivation of current producers to choose your material instead of theirs when they have their own development of materials that meet the criteria they need?
Mm-hmm. So we want to upscale, because we know that some companies are developing or using their own material and formula. We want to provide fabric that has these characteristics with the added value of also like the biodegradability, and so that producers can buy our fabric straight away and do not have to go through the hassle of R&D and fitting and finding the ideal characteristics and functions of their cloth, their fabric, so they can use it to produce clothes straight away. That is our idea, yes.
Where are your potential customers? Here in Slovakia or?
we've spoken to customers, we've spoken to eco-conscious companies here in Slovakia as well, but we are conscious that we need to speak to the big players for us to have an impact, and which will also make our production possibility and financial feasibility of this project possible, because
Your ideal customers, in which segments and what kind of customer segments they target?
We are targeting sportswear, so we are conscious that more and more brands such as Adidas, Puma, Patagonia are going into the sustainability game. And we also identified IKEA as our potential customer because of its huge consumption of fabrics and textile. We would want to reach those sports people who need highly performing sportswear and at the same time a sustainable solution without consequences that are hardly eradicated in the future.
Okay. Once you have access to the fiber that you are waiting for to be patented, what is your secret sauce and competitive advantage for production of your fiber in comparison to any other producer that decides to go this way?
We are a young team, and we are conscious of that fact that we are not, we don't have a lab, and it's not directly our fiber, which is why we are open to new insights and are determined to find a solution to keep us on the market. But we will see what our next stage leads us to, which is the spreading of public awareness through grants, and just the passion, our enragement of the problem of microplastics.
Thank you very much, Duo. Thank you very much, Team Filora. So your time is up and we can move forward. The third presentation of EnviroTech Lab will be delivered by Team Mylab, consisting of chemistry student Julia Mišiková, public health officer Michal Adamišin, and student of linguistics Rastislav Širotník. Please, Team Mylab on the stage.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I would like to start with a small appeal. Let's reduce waste and give it a second life. Every single one of us has come across blister bags. They are everywhere. But did you know that these small everyday items are actually a huge recycling challenge? They contain both plastic and aluminum, and separating them is incredibly difficult. That's where we come in. At Mylab, we are developing an innovative solution to efficiently separate plastic and aluminum, and that both material can be reused in new product instead of ending up in landfills. The blister packaging market present in Central Europe, $2.5 billion opportunity. By capturing 20% of damaged but uncontaminated blister packs, we can access $10 million market. And here is the real issue. Pharmaceutical companies are already paying to dispose the damaging but uncontaminated blister packs that are created during the production of blister packs. That money right now goes to waste management. But what if it could fuel a new profitable recycling solution? Using a solvent-based separation process, we apply isopropyl alcohol and acetone. To dissolve the adhesive that binds plastic and aluminium together. The materials are then dried and ready for recycle. Our business model is based on building separation machines directly at pharmaceutical manufacturing sites where blister packs are produced. Pharmaceutical companies would pay us for recycling their damaged blister packs, which would be a more cost-effective solution for them. And additionally, we generate revenue by selling the recycled plastic and aluminium. The companies that use as secondary material plastic and aluminium. Based on our market feedback, if the price is competitive and the quality is comparable, we have potential to selling these products. With this model, we anticipate that by end of the first year, we could already be operating profitably. Several companies are actually working on this.
Very much.
Okay, thank you very much for presentation. And the first question from me will be, how can you ensure the collection of the blisters?
We talk with some pharmaceutical companies, and during the production there are like damaged blisters, and they pay like the waste management to process this and like burn it and put it on the landfills. And they have this problem that they want to somehow recycle it because it's not already contaminated by the medicine. It's just like damaged. Maybe there is some small hole or something. So they're looking for the solution. And if we build like these separation machines in the pharmaceutical companies, it could separate and like make small plastic and aluminum particles and then sell this.
Okay, thank you.
So your solution, how, or is there any way to protect your intellectual property?
It's not our intellectual property, it's from like scientific articles, and we don't have it validated in the laboratory yet. We just read a bunch of articles and they use this method, so we need to go to laboratory and try the best.
Try the best.
If I can have a question, who pays? That's my question, first of all, because when you compare the financial needs of companies, pharmaceutical companies that pay now the landfilling or incineration, is this method cheaper for them?
Yeah, we calculated it and it's cheaper. And also the second revenue is like the selling the material like the plastic and aluminium. Like we contacted some companies, like not big ones, but smaller ones that don't need like tons of aluminium. And they told us like if we could make it like cheaper, they would be interested in it. Like also we would need to have the quality the same as the primary aluminium, but if yes, they would be interested in buying our aluminium.
Okay,
so
and also one, sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you. What are the materials or liquids you want to use for dividing the two materials from each other?
Yeah, they're not toxic and environmental friendly. Yeah, we were deciding between more of because there are more solutions how to separate this, but this one is the most financially and environmentally friendly.
Isn't it hazardous waste after using the acetone?
It's not.
Okay.
Okay, you didn't get to finish your slides. Can you tell us about the competition and what do you need in order to validate your solution?
Okay, so the competition, it exists that there are some companies that collect used blisters and they clean it and then they recycle the material. But they are not located in Central Europe, they're in US, UK, Australia and also like Norway. But there is nothing like this here, and the problem with collecting the used blisters is that there are some regulations because the blisters needs to be like clean, so there aren't any parts of medicine left. So, but we haven't found any solution that is focused on these damaged blisters during the production of blisters.
Okay. And what do you need for you to validate your solution?
Like validate if it works, like...
You said you need a lab, best effort, and a small pilot testing facility. What do you need for that?
Yeah, we need like small lab and try like what's the best percentage of both chemicals, how many times can we use it, and yeah, find the best, I don't know how to say it, find the best ratio. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. No more questions, Your Honor.
No more questions.
So if there is no more questions, then thank you very much, Team Mylab. So please take a picture. Please take a picture as a team. And we are moving to the fourth and final presentation of this evening with the team Celer. And you will see zoologist Simona Papežíková, linguist, student of economics and management Marta Karchňáková, and environmental lawyer and sustainability consultant Denis Bede. And just give them a couple of more seconds to receive the certifications and gifts from our partners and take a picture. Team Celer, good luck.
So, ladies and gentlemen, imagine a world where clean air doesn't come at a cost to our planet. At Celer, we turn cellulose waste into clean air and then into compost again. We want to revolutionize air filtration by making it high performance, cost-effective and truly sustainable. And this way, we want to close the loop. The world today is facing environmental crises. We want to solve or address two problems. One of them is tons of filters that end up in landfills and tons of millions of waste textile. So we will take this waste textile that contains cotton. We will use patent-pending patent-pending technology to turn it into nanocellulose. Then we will add biodegradable polymers and turn it into filtration material that, after it has served, can be turned into compost. And this is the closing loop that I talked about. When it comes to market, the bigger bubbles are the current situation, TAM-SAM-SOM, and the numbers above are the expected growth. So we can see the markets are growing. So when it comes to our competitors, there are companies that are established that produce cheap and affordable and effective filters that however end up in landfills. Then there are companies that produce nanocellulose, but that is not used for air filtration specifically. Then there are companies that produce advanced filtration technology materials, but they are not biodegradable. And then in Ireland, there's a company Irema that produces biodegradable filters, but they don't disclose the contents. And then there's us. So this is our roadmap. Our MVP is fully biodegradable filtering material that we want to use. We want to produce using fabless production, which saves operational, marketing, and sales costs. And if things go well, we aim high. We would like, we have ideas. These numbers indicate projected price per G4 filter. This is the money that we need to reach our MVP and 2 years. Our team is complemented by two guys from Slovak and Czech Academies of Science who contribute with their expertise in material science and environmental technology. And remember the world that I talked about at the beginning? Join us in making it happen.
Katarina, do you want to go first?
Yes, if I can.
For a change.
For me, thank you. For me, it seems that the filter in the whole air conditioner things is just a minor part. And don't you think that if this change is not so insignificant that it could be considered a greenwashing?
It's not greenwashing. So, because we are going to use a thing that's already waste, and the patent pending technology is new and is cheap, does not produce harmful gases, harmful substances. It's like very simple, efficient, and it's ecologically friendly, I can say. So by no way it's, maybe you want to talk about LCA?
Yeah, we did some LCA calculations to showcase that we can save carbon. We can lower the emissions of the solution, and we are tackling two problems. There is a lot of waste from textiles, as you have seen and heard from the previous presentations, and then there are also the single-use filters that are currently used. So it's like billions of tons of single-use filters that end up in landfills because they are from carbon, they are from fiberglass that is not recyclable. So this solution basically tackles these two problems, lowers the overall amount of waste from air filtration, and then it's also fully biodegradable, so it can enter the life cycle, and you can get a new material from the earth.
So you mentioned patent pending tech. Apologies. Katarina, go ahead.
No, sorry, this is inconvenient, I apologize. Just a question, is the price significantly lower so the producers of air conditioners will be willing to change their products they use for this yours?
Yes, we believe yes. The trend is to be more sustainable, and all the producers of air filtration, home appliances, they are using those filters. Some of them are big, as you can see in the air filtration in this building. Some of them are smaller, and you can save a lot of waste from it because you need to change them repeatedly. So you create a waste. If you want to have clean air in your homes or offices, you need to change them more regularly, so you create more waste at the end of the day. So using a biodegradable solution, we think is the best solution to go ahead and be more sustainable.
When it comes to price point, the technology that is patent pending is way cheaper than it's currently used elsewhere. So we are building on that. It's not our IP. But we are building on this IP, we are building our own IP. So the IP that we're building on belongs to Slovak Academy of Science and Czech Academy of Science. And we are building our own IP based on them, using their technology. So building our own recipe, because those filters, it's not just nanocellulose, it's something else added, biodegradable.
I'm reasonably confused now. The patent pending tech that you mentioned, that's not yours, right?
Correct.
It's not yours?
Correct.
Okay. So can you lead me again through the process of what you are trying to achieve? Because in your slides you mentioned you are going to be recycling waste and putting it basically back into the nature.
Correct.
Now I'm hearing that you are trying to build a new material for air filters?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm confused. That's why I'm asking again, what are you trying to achieve?
Yes, basically we need to build a new material because the current one is single-use and non-recyclable, the fiberglass or plastics. We are using the patent-pending technology from Academy of Sciences.
And can you tell us what the technology does?
It produces nanocellulose from waste textiles, and this nanocellulose is a great filtration medium. So you can use it to filter air and produce air filters. And it is also fully biodegradable. And our know-how, we would like to bring this solution to the market because the scientists, they are only working on scientific papers and creating this technology. And we would like to add some more biopolymers to create the frame, so the whole filter is biodegradable.
Okay, now I got it. Thank you.
Okay, and if I may ask, the price of 37 euro is for filter as a selling price or production price?
It's a selling price, and I calculated it based on research for like G4 grade, which is which traps 80% of particles. So it's easily achievable, like relatively easily achievable. You're shaking your head.
Okay, so it's based on some real product or some comparable product as you want to produce.
Okay.
Yes, we did the market research and researched all the prices for several filters that are used currently in the air filtration. The prices are between 30 and 50 euros per filter. It depends on size and effectivity of the filter, and we think that we can, based on these calculations and based on the cost effectiveness of the patent pending technology we're using, produce somehow cheaper filters, around 36, 37 euros per filter.
Including VAT. It's with VAT.
Yeah, it's with taxes also.
And does the size have influence on the price? Because you mentioned only the filter, not the size of the filter. So I just wondering how you can, generalize this price,
Yes. So basically, you're right. The size influences the price. I based it on weight. Okay. I made calculations based on weight. So.
Okay. So it's not based on the filter, but some kgs or something.
And if we say the technology is not ours, but there is a proof that the technology works because it's still evolving. And you can use any type of material containing cellulose as an input material. And these two guys from Academy, Czech and Slovak Academy of Sciences, uses a semi-solid water-based medium where you put the celluloses, and the celluloses is spreading out. And the machine cut the fibers into nanometers long, small pieces, which can be used later.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Team Seller. Thank you for this. Please take a picture and receive your certificates. So that was everything from EnviroTech Lab for today. You have listened to 4 ideas on how to do green innovations maybe even better than is done today. Again, there can be only one winner, and we are going to pick them very soon. So thanks to all the participants, thanks to jury members for your questions. And now we take break until 8, so for 20 minutes. Thank you very much, Seller. This is your last chance to vote in Slido for the best team performance you heard today. The next time we meet here, we'll close the voting. And there is a very special prize for the Public Choice Award winner. So we suggest and support you and encourage you to vote. Enjoy the snacks, enjoy conversations, and let's be here back at 8. And I would like to ask the jury members, you will be taken by Simona and Matej for final decisions. Okay, so please, let's come back to the seats. I would like to invite everybody to come back and continue with the official program. I know you have very lovely conversation and interactions, but please keep them for now and come back to us, and you'll be able to continue in them very soon after the keynote speech. So I give you a couple of more seconds to move from all parts of the room back to the audience. And we can continue. So welcome back, everyone, here physically or virtually watching us through the stream. I hope you are having a very nice time. I had a great talk with my former colleagues from the Lifbee Academy from last year, which we were competing together in the same labs as this year. And now we are officially closing the Public Choice Award voting at Slido. So I hope you submitted your votes for the most or the coolest theme you saw today. And we are going to announce results very soon, also together with Life Sciences Lab and EnviroTech Lab. While we are here, the jury members, together with the Lifbee team, are discussing all 7 ideas you have listened in previous sessions, and they are going to pick the absolute winners. And meanwhile, until the decision is made, we are going to invite on the stage one of the alumni of Lifbee Academy to share his professional story with us. There is one book by Kim Scott saying that in startup environment, there are people usually either rock stars or superstars. Rock stars are those who want to become a subject matter experts. They pick one tough topic, such as medicine, and they just dive deep into it. On the other hand, superstars are people who go rather broad, more generalistic, and often become business managers or CEOs. When our next speaker had a dilemma whether he wants to be a rock star or superstar, he simply answered yes, and first became a physician and then CEO of own AI startup. So please welcome on the stage Pavol Praženica. Yes. Pavol, so before we start, just brief introduction of you. So your career switch from medicine to entrepreneurship seems quite interesting. So why did you do such transition?
So first, good evening, everyone. As was spoken, as was said about superheroes and Supermans, I would like to call myself rather curious and more looking for an unbeaten path. And that's what I always did in previous years. I would say that the curiosity about the technology and the future was sparked in my head around time of the high school when I was studying mathematics grammar school. And me and my classmates, we were just playing with the mining of the cryptocurrency and seeing the potential of these technologies. But later on, I was still doing extreme sports, freestyle skiing and freeride skiing when I was competing on the junior World Cups and championships, but suddenly I got hurt. And I realized that the career of a professional sportsman is not something that is suitable for the safe future. So then I undergo 2 surgeries, and I had to think what will be my next steps if if I would do the best to have a good recovery and get back to the competing, or what will be the subject what I will study on the university. Coming from a family where one half is doctors and the other half is technical engineers, was really not hard to decide because the motivation from my parents was either one or the other side. But during my recovery phase after the surgeries, I really started liking the medicine because I saw how great it is that in the human body and the human anatomy that everything is well connected together and creates one greatly working machine, which is the human body. And that inspired me to go study general medicine, or as we know in Slovakia, všeobecné lekárstvo. And yeah, that's how I applied for multiple medical universities in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Without further ado, I go to the English program General Medicine in Comenius University in Bratislava, where I was curious enough during my studies that what would be the benefits of all this theoretical knowledge in the practice and in the clinic. And we were learning a lot about theories, how the things works, and we were also pursued to deep dive into these theories and come up with something which was never invented or never known. And there I started to think, what if our small, let's say, inventions, innovations, or just simply improving the system can lead to, and maybe it's not just the diploma thesis that the students are writing at the end of their studies. If it is not something you have to write when you're doing the PhD studies or you are aspiring to be a docent. This usually in Slovakia is just highly awarded by the academy. And then after the few weeks or months, it's just disappeared lying somewhere in a shelf of some institute in the university, and it's usually intact. And therefore, I realized that what if these diploma theses and all the work you have done on the university can lead to, what if it can be a beginning or a stepping stone or some successful startup, successful innovation, or just basically helping to improve the life of the patients and the workers in the clinical field. And as the time was going and I was going into my second or third year in the university, the COVID pandemic hit the whole world, and I was so curious and also so bored sitting in my room and just watching the lectures on my computer and not being able to help or to really put my hands on. So I was looking for some opportunities where I can put my energy to, and then somewhere on social media I called a proposal for all the medical workers, medical students, you name it, who wants to participate in the COVID sample taking. So out of my curiosity, I just wrote a mail application to this company, and this company happens to be Vacuum Labs, and the spot is where this company was located. So that's how I got to one of the Vacuum Lab spin-offs, Rýchlo test COVID. And I started there as you can name it as a basic intern in the company who helps to do stuff, who writes some emails, try to do some manual work for me as someone who has some medical knowledge, was sample taking and trying to maybe make the whole customer experience of the Rýchlo test COVID customers more pleasant. But as the pandemic was nowhere seeing the end, there was an idea from one of the managers in the Rýchlo test COVID, what if we build our own laboratory? And that's something that caught my eye pretty fast, that I said that I want to be the one who will be trying to go through this whole process of getting license, finding the places, hiring the laborants, and so on. And therefore, I got the senior colleague Tony, with who we went through all this process, and we established the first private micro laboratory in the Bratislava, which was diagnosing these samples. And that's the moment when the technology comes in, because just after the 13 days of this lab actively diagnosing all the samples, we overcome the highest or the biggest private PCR test provider, MUDr, in just 13 days. It all was done just thanks to the right scaling of the processes in the laboratory, thanks to technology. We developed our own system which was managing all the, let's say, workflows in the laboratory. And from just 200 samples which were done by just manual assessment without having any technicalities in, after developing the system, we were able, after 13 days, to do more than 3,000 PCR tests a day in the laboratory at the size of 80 square meters. So that was the first time when I realized, okay, the medicine and the business and the impact, the scalable impact for the patients can be really scaled by the technology. So therefore, I start to looking for another opportunities, and I was lucky enough that exactly at this canteen, I met Ferotod, who told me everything about Lifbee, and he told me that if I'm curious, then I should definitely apply. So it was 3 years ago when I applied for the Lifbee Academy and was one of the students in this great program, which is empowering the students, PhD students, just the curious people to really do science and innovation in matter of really being publicly viable, being able to help in your daily life, being able to scale some services, or just bring something new what was not there but had the need for. So yeah, with my team, Laura, Matej, and Simona, we had an idea about microbiome sequencing and having this kind of business model when we will be using it for employees of the big corporates to improve their gut microbiome, because it is one of the most prevalent cause of not showing up to the office, that it was the belly issues. So we were trying to solve this through the microbiology. Yeah.
So we just gave the audience the teaser how the Q&A will look like after her keynote. So thank you very much for your introduction. I will leave you the space to talk about Medannot a bit more. Maybe just call out to all people here or online, if you want to ask any question to Pavol, you have a clicker there. We're using Slido, hashtag Lifbee, so you can submit any question and we will discuss after the keynote. And I will just leave you with one question, and then you can directly go to your keynote. So many doctors currently in these days are focusing on practical patient care, and sometimes they are resisting to innovations, while AI is often seen as a disruptive force everywhere, but also in healthcare. So how do you navigate the intersection of these two worlds?
Yeah, like many publicly, it's well known that the AI will at some point will be trying to overtake places of the regular physicians and so on. But this is really far future. I think it won't be able to do so. It's at some particular specialties earlier than in maybe 15 to 30 years. But the doctors which will be using AI will overtake the jobs of the doctors which are not using the AI. And therefore, we built a platform which is using AI to scale the processes in the radiology. And despite of having technological advancements, most of the workflows in the hospital, or most of the radiology workflows in the hospital is performed manually. Despite the doctors and the physicians are having not enough time to perform segmenting or annotating processes, which are a crucial part or stepping stone for data sets. And these well-segmented and annotated data sets are something which is necessary for us to being able to train AI. The real bottleneck in radiology AI is not the training AI on itself. We have multiple possibilities how we can create and automate the workflows, but we don't have the ground truth or the data sets which are serving for us to be able to train something. But for us in the radiology, it's annotated medical images. If we imagine the classical X-ray, which is a 2D images, structures, for example, the pathology there, which is the fracture of the bones, must be labeled with complex tools, and usually for a skilled radiologist, it takes 3 minutes to label or annotate one single slice or one layer. If we want to train AI model which will be able to detect the fracture in the hand of the human, it usually requires at least 1,000 patients. And the whole part of annotating just 1,000 fracture bones will take 150 man hours or 19 man days. But the problem is getting much bigger, because the CTs and MRIs, as we know, are medical images which are consisting with more layers. It's not just one 2D image, but it's multiple layers or the slices of the human body put together, and each of these slices must be annotated exactly as the X-ray. So therefore, if you want to annotate, for example, the tumor of the kidney, you have to go through at least 50 layers. And this, by manual segmentation, took approximately 3.9 man years, which is not scalable and not suitable. Therefore, we were having a big obstacle go through, and that was to be able to annotate the medical images at scale and being able to annotate them everywhere. Because as we know, the computers in the hospitals are not such a hardware or high-end. And therefore, we have to come up with a solution which will be running on cloud, and all the computing power will be operating from the cloud or the servers. So therefore, we build an annotation tool which is accessible from the web browser. It's easy to use, so the regular physician, regular doctor, regular radiologist will have no problem operating on. Being able to develop our own AI tools which are necessary for segmenting the images. And with that, we came up with the annotation tool which is able to annotate medical images 75% more efficient than the regular viable tools. But where these annotations are leading to? These annotations are leading to for creating of the data sets from where you can train your AI. When speaking of AI, it can be AI which will be able to detect the fractures, which will be able to do the screenings, which will be able to do the reports for the radiologist, and so on. This is called compound AI, and that's all what is available in the Medannot platform now. But with the well-annotated data, we came up with that these annotated data are also serving for 3D model generation. That means that if you annotated the 50 slides of the CT scan, we were able to get the 3D model of the kidney. And this patient-specific kidney or patient-specific image serves for a surgeon as something that is really useful for, because usually before the surgery, surgeon is looking at a regular CT scan, and therefore he knows what he's operating on. But with having a 3D visualization, the surgeon is better prepared for the surgery and can expect and can overcome the possible problems much more easier, because thanks to the better navigation. One of our paying customers, the Ghent University in Belgium, they created with Medannot annotation tool the dataset for the kidney, for the kidney visualization, which contains also the cyst, which is the pink structure, which consists also the tumor and the much needed vascularization of the organ. Because if the surgeon is operating on the kidney and he knows where are the arteries, because they are varying through the patients, because not a single human is the same as the one before. So surgeon has to be really careful with this surgical navigation, so the surgeon knows where he needs to be aware of some particular veins. For this case, Xeos is a medical device, and they are able to they come up with a medical portable device which is able to create a CT scan of a small structure. So the workflow for this particular case is that the surgeon, when he wants to operate on a prostate which is containing a prostate tumor, he first annotates the data in the Medannot. Therefore, he knows how the prostate and tumor looks like. Therefore, he knows what he is supposed to be taken from the patient, what he needs to dissect from the patient. And when it is dissected, there comes the portable device Xeos, which is able to create this CT scan or the scan of the structure. From this image can be also put back to the Medannot, and you can compare these two 3D visualizations if the surgeon take out the whole prostate tumor and if it is not some residues, which can cause in the future tumor growing and more metastasis. But what we are pursuing internally is we want to focus on the conventional screenings. With the prostate cancer being the second most case of cancer in the man, we said that yes, this is the correct case to go more deeper. So therefore, we create a data set of prostate and the tumor of prostate. Therefore, in our platform, we trained the AI model, which is able to locate prostate and its tumor inside the platform. And with that, we went further because we were able to annotate the tumor. We paired it with the pathology, and we created the model which is able to even rate or classify tumor of the prostate in a Pirates range from 1 to 5, 1 being something which is not dangerous, 5 being the most dangerous for the patient. Therefore, with this simple step, we are able to overcome we are able to reduce the invasive biopsies, which can lead, for example, to erectile dysfunction if this biopsy is not performed well. So our simple workflow is able to substitute this need for the biopsies. Therefore, we can automatically classify the stage where the tumor is. Our business model is now simple. We are using these yearly subscriptions especially for a special use case for a customer, but in average is 20,000 euros a year. And we are currently in a stage where we are building awareness of such possibilities, and so therefore I'm building a community of the physicians, of the radiologists, of the oncologists, which are able to automate any use case within our platform. In the future, we are ready to target hospital systems, but for that, we need certifications. Our team consists of doctors, businessmen, and technicians, but you are maybe asking, like, who is behind these ideas itself? In the beginning, it was Herman brothers, the founders of Powerful Medical. And even before the Powerful Medical was founded, they had this idea of automatizing the whole process of the health screening. They thought that they can just simply put the human into the CT machine, get the CT scan of that, and some AI or some software can can localize all the pathologies or can tell you how what's the health status of the patient. But they realized that it's something which is not so easy. Therefore, they called Robert Klein, our CTO, who was having the initial idea of building the annotating tool. Then Peter de Bakker, the Belgian urological surgeon, joined the team with me when we were looking for another possibilities which this novel technology can bring. So therefore, we choose the use cases which we are now pursuing to being certified. This is almost the full team. Our developers are based in Spišská Nová Ves to optimize the costs for the developing of the system of the software, and we are also hiring. We are hiring someone who is startup proven, startup driven, who has skills with working with the CRM tools or Figma, someone who has a technical or medical background, someone who is ready to push the limits. That means that someone who doesn't mind working more than 12 or 14 hours a day at some special occasions, but should be also someone who is able to reach to the doctors, reach to the medical key opinion leaders, and being able to set up a call for me or for my colleagues. Up to date, we raised 750,000 euros from our angel investors and our highly valued 0100 fund. But now we are facing a step when we should switch from the garage company to the real company, which is planning to have 500,000 euros a year of ARR in the 2026. Therefore, for this, we need a seed investment in value of 2 million euros to be able to enter the US market, being able to get a FDA certification for 3 use cases and be able to perform the clinical trials and MDR. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's move there. So thank you very much for your speech. We can move to the questions. So once again, if you are interested in any questions Pavol would like to answer, you can go to hashtag Lifbee at slido.com. But I will start with one of mine question. So what mindset shifts you had to overcome when going from medicine student or medical thinking individual to entrepreneur or startup entrepreneur?
This question is also simple because I was studying in the Slovak University, in Comenius University in Bratislava, and I had many practical, let's say, classes in the Slovak hospitals, mainly in Bratislava, and I saw what's the current state of the Slovak healthcare, and I was always trying to think how we can improve this, how we can get a better care for the patients, and I saw also the need for the greater number of doctors in the system, but therefore that's something which is able to be overcome by just the technology and being able to scale some manual processes. So yeah, for me it was really simple because I wanted to have a greater impact on the whole medical field of this.
So those are huge differences in mindsets, I can assume. So maybe I will connect with the first question. So what are top 3 skills or mindsets for people who want to succeed in the AI health or medicine sector?
I would not say that there should be like some particular skills because skill is something you can acquire. But for me, it's interdisciplinary education or knowledge. For example, if you are a pharmacist and you want to conduct some research, you should be also a good businessman because you should be researching something that has a commercial value and not just something which will be just stored somewhere in the shelf. So for this, in this case, for AI health startup can be medical background, technical background, and of course some experiences in the business. And I think that Lifbee brings all this together great, so it can just Also for personally, for me, it was some point where I realized that this is necessary. What's the difference between your project and CareBot from Czech Republic? So it's really simple. In the beginning, I had these two pictures. When there was annotated 2D image, the basic X-ray, and then the multiple slices of the CT and MRI. Basically, what CareBot did, they annotated the 2D images. But what we are doing in Medannot, that we are annotating these multiple layer CTs and MRIs, which are much greater which annotation is much harder for physicians to perform. So if you want to create the diagnostic AIs out of the CTs and MRI, you have to annotate much more data, and your data sets are much bigger. So that's the basic difference.
Mm-hmm. There are questions about the US, so maybe what markets did you consider originally and why the US was the...
For the US, it's really easy, because when looking for a market in European Union, all the states in the European Union, or majority of the states, is somehow governmentally funded. So therefore, their budgets for the innovations are much smaller. But in the US, what we see there? They are highly business driven. If the hospital is able to save some money with some tool, they are doing some basic analysis, and then later they are acquiring this tool for them to be able to save money or either make more money. And also the directors, the managers, the board of the particular hospitals in US is motivated highly with good numbers at the end of the year. So they are also motivated by some special bonuses at the end of the year if they're able to let's say, save or make more money. And this is something which we don't see in Slovakia. In Slovakia, we see hospitals generating great losses over the year. And then what happens? Then the government comes and they just give money to the hospitals artificially. And with that, we are just in a circle where there must be these regular injections. And I would say that the CEOs of the Slovak hospitals are not bad, but they are not motivated well. Because what if they will be motivated if they can put the hospital into the black or the green numbers? What would be the outcome? And that's something across the Europe which we don't see. They are basically just going from day-to-day operations and not thinking about the economical aspect.
But those are Western markets you were talking about until now. So what about Asia? We were listening about India and other countries today. So
when we are speaking about these countries in the Middle East, for example, as Saudi Arabia or United Arab Emirates, their requirements for the certifications of these innovative medtech, health tech platforms is much lower than in Europe or US. So therefore, the implementations of these innovations is much more faster in these countries. For example, Medannot joined the tenders in Saudi Arabia, where we are one of the two last contestants in the tender, where the Saudi AI agency is looking for a tool which can annotate medical images to be able to create data sets and train these AI models. And this is everything that Medannot has, and it is annotating the medical images, creating data sets, and train the AI in the one platform without necessity of being tech skilled. That means the regular doctor can decide, okay, I don't like this procedure, I want to get rid of manual tasks which I have to perform day to day. I will just create an AI model which can do it for me.
But that sounds like a perfect fit, no? You said that on the Middle East, this is the demand, and you actually have already built a solution for that.
We already ran multiple successful MVPs in these regions, and we also see it as a big potential. And in one fact, it can happen that Europe, thanks to its laws against AI and being really safe in implementing these kind of tools, which is in my which I think is right, but also should be somehow tested more in a real, let's say, production. That means in a clinical system much more faster. And this quicker implementation will also lead for a better understanding what the AI can bring to the healthcare.
But you consider Medannot being global in the end, like that's the end vision?
Definitely. The end vision of the Medannot is that there is multiple companies in radiology, or especially in AI radiology, which is trying to create diagnostic AIs and something on. But they are all lacking the same thing, and that's they don't know how to annotate the data in scale. They are, for example, Siemens Healthineers is having 2 stories of the radiologists in the hospital in the Munich, where they are just manually annotating image by image. But that's not something that is feasible and scalable. Yeah, they are just doing it manually. Medannot offers solution for all the AI companies in the radiology to be able to annotate this medical data in scale. And if you already annotated those data with Medannot, you can also train these AI models within our platform. Therefore, we give you the from end-to-end process how you can do so if you want to create the AI diagnostics. And this is now viable for any healthcare providers, physicians, students.
Mm-hmm. The next question is actually very much connected to the AI hype in general. Mm-hmm. So when we are talking about AI, but basically any technological solutions, so how secured are the patient data? Mm-hmm. I think this is the data.
This is straightforward questions. We undergo ISO certification 27001, and now we are undergoing the certification now 9000. We have also GDPR certification, SOC 2, and HIPAA, which is necessary to be able to deal with the patient data. Our clouds are among Europe. That means that we are eligible with the law of European Union that all the patient data must be stored within the European Union. So, yeah.
So even if you are mostly operating in the US market, your databases
we are not operating in US market sadly yet. We are just looking forward to be able to grow to that size that we are able to serve this market. Now we are running our MVPs among Europe and MENA regions, Middle East, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. And about AI, so the AI tends to slowly over the time degrade themselves, depending on the data sets and how well they are trained. So are you afraid of some degradation of the algorithm over time? How do you ensure accuracy?
Yeah, each AI model which is trained within our platform is able to be trained by hands of any radiologist, doctor, biomechanical engineer, whoever can train an AI model. But the result and the certification of each AI model must be performed, and that's something tricky, which will be not easy for anyone to create an AI model. Therefore, we are really putting the best minds in radiology together. We are giving them powerful tool to be able to annotate this data, prepare data sets, and train their AI models. Therefore, they're able to take all these trained AI models and go through the FDA certification, for example. So, yeah, anyone can train the AI model, everyone can do so, but at the end, it's the guys from the FDA or from the MDR, from the European Union, who will give you the stamp that, yeah, this AI model is certified and can be used in the clinics.
So in the discussion, if AI is just the hype or next big thing, I assume that as a CEO of AI startup, you are leaning more into...
Yeah, like AI is already with us. It was already with us before the language models were accessible. Even AI was accessible in the healthcare system, but not in a way as we know, for example, the ChatGPT. But what is now hype in AI is the compound AI, where you are able to connect all these technical modalities together. For example, machine learning and language models, training the AI models, and so on. For example, we are running MVP now when we created the automatical lung nodules detection. And we are also using the language models to describe and make the radiology report, as it was done by the radiologist, but it was done by the AI model. And this is an MVP that we are already running, which is already working to some point. But as I said, you need at least 1,000 ground truths, 1,000 patients with a specific pathology. If we are talking about detecting something which is pathological, so we need those pathologies annotated, prepared in data sets, and trained. And all this must be done in order. So, yeah.
So we have 5 more minutes. So maybe I'll take 2 questions. So one is about competencies. So also in Lifbee, we are talking a lot about what are the competencies for starting your own idea or project. But maybe when you are over the first initial phase and you want to enter the growth stage, so what are core competencies you need, you and your team, larger team, to have to scale actually?
Yeah, like we are seeing small startup teams succeeding. And the answer to this is that interdisciplinary connection between the founders, between the people which are involved with the startup. That means that, I guess, in my opinion now, it's not enough that you are just a medical doctor, because you don't have this idea how the innovations are made, you don't have this idea how the tech world works, you don't know how to communicate with the developers. You don't know about the economic or the financial aspect of the thing. You don't have idea what's the business strategy to bring your innovation to the market. So the programs like Lifbee are really bringing this all together. And even I saw today medical student, I saw developer, the tech guy, I saw the bioengineering guys. So all of them together are learning, and I'm aiming for the same thing, and that is to bring innovation to the market thanks to their knowledge which they acquired on the academic, and being able to do this tech transfer. So transfer the theoretical knowledge they have, put it onto the market, but Lifbee is giving this guiding hand to them, so they are able to do so. So it's not just another diploma thesis in the shelf, but it is some real idea they have and they want to work on, and they know how to do it. I was there as well 2 years ago or 3 years ago, sitting within the Lifbee students, and I had these ideas. And that time I was working on another vacuum lab spin-off, which was Novuma, and I was able to implement the knowledge from all these Lifbee sessions the next day in the office. And I saw like how it made a difference that I have this knowledge from Lifbee, which is really putting all these key elements together and giving the guiding hand to all the students. So, yeah.
So there are some very specific questions, so I empower you to catch Pavol.
What's my medical specialization? I have non-medical specialization. I'm, in Slovak terms, lekár. That means that I don't have any specialization. I just finished the general medicine, všeobecné lekárstvo, and I decided not to pursue my clinical path, but as a so-called, let's say, innovator, I'm also always curious. So I'm doing a PhD in the radiology in the Ghent University, where I'm looking for another possibilities what you can get from the CT scan, because there is many data which is not shown, and we are looking for a fit for those data to be able, what they can show us. Maybe they can show us something that we don't know yet, yeah? So some initial stages of the tumors and so on. So therefore, yeah, I'm also pursuing a little bit my scientific work, but mainly I am trying to, with my team, to push Medannot to that higher stage when we are able to enter the US market. Who are our competitors? So it's mainly companies which are developing the annotating softwares or solutions. These softwares and solutions from companies like Mava, RoboVision, and so on are just available on-premise. That means that you have to install some software on your computer, and you have to have it. It has a high hardware demand. But our advancement in this is that we all do this competition, all this computation remotely from the servers. So, yeah,
cloud-based.
Yeah.
Sorry, I need to jump. In. So our time is slowly running out. So there are still some questions. So I empower you to grab Pavol during the networking session and ask him those questions directly. I think you're very approachable for the after party.
And before we finish, I want to again thank to Simona and Matej for really bringing all of us together, all of the students which are curious, and they are really empowering the curiosity among us, and they are showing us, thanks to their vast network of the advisors and professionals in the field, how it is done, and I think that's great, and they really deserve a big applause from us. So thank you, Simona and Matej.
So it was great closing. Thank you very much, Pavol, for your experiences. Thank you very much for having you in Lifbee Alumni community, and wish you luck.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
So thank you, and we now move to the most exciting part of the event, the announcements of the absolute winners of Lifbee Academy 2024-2025. So 8 months of hard work, 8 months of creativity, 8 months of building of ideas, building of friendships, building of own resilience. Incredible journey for all of our 22 participants, and a really good job to every one of you. We are very, very proud of you. There will be only one winner in each lab today, but do not forget that the real ultimate jury is out there, and it's a real customer. So they either buy your product or they not. Doesn't matter who wins today, you still can go outside and make a change, because your journey was amazing, but it doesn't end here. It starts here. Now you are part of the Lifbee Alumni community, and it's up to you to make a change. And that's something what all you can do, not just one team. But, as I said, it feels nice to win something. So let me proceed to the announcements of the absolute winners. So without further hesitation, let me announce a winner of Life Sciences Lab. And the winning team is going to receive a Life Science Lab award, the €5,000 support to further develop and test their projects, the free legal consultations up to 10 hours in the field of IP and corporate law from Brighton Partners, and I apologize, and 3 tickets for Prague Bio Conference 2025, conference for startups, R&D teams, investors, and experts in biotech industry with key biotech players from across Central Europe. And we have my colleagues already on the stage, and I would like to welcome and invite to the stage the winner of Lifbee Life Sciences Lab for 2025, which is Team NERV. If you want to say something.
So, thank you very much, and thank you, the Lifbee team, for this opportunity. So, what to say? It was a long and short journey, because, you know, the 8 months, it's not so much, and the time is running very fast. So I think yesterday was the day when we start, 8 months ago, and now is the finish. So, and what will be next. So we will try to spend this money for the next steps to improve our project. And anybody want to say anything?
Yeah, I would also like to thank the Lifbee team for connecting us with that many professionals that helped us and mentored us. It was really invaluable.
Yes, and I would also like to thank the whole Lifbee community and also the other external people which we get in contact with, and they helped us a lot.
Congratulations. And should we ask also the jury members of Life Science Lab to just join the crew for the picture, if you are somewhere close. So yeah, people from the jury from Life Sciences Lab, just for a picture. So congratulations, Team Nerve. So 50% done, one more lap remaining. So let's continue and find out who had the best project pitch according to our jury members today. And the winner is also going to win EnviroTech Award, EnviroTech Lab Award, 5,000 euros to develop their idea by our lab partner Nadacia Tipsport, free legal consultations up to 10 hours in the field of IP and corporate law from Brichta and Partners, and tickets for Envi Summit conference on innovative solutions and best practices for environmentally sustainable packaging from EnviPack. And I would like to ask Aneta Turčanová from Nadacia Tipsport to join me on the stage, and maybe before we announce the winners, just to share a few words. No?
So hi, my name is Aneta, and in the name of Tipsport Foundation, we are very proud to have the ability to support these innovative projects, and that's it. We are just so excited.
Thank you very much. So let's proceed to the announcements. I already told you what you are going to get, and the winner for Lifbee EnviroTech Lab for 2024-2025 is team Nitro.
I'd like to thank to all 4 of our team members for their dedication, for the work they put in, and for being one of the coolest people I know. It's not the last time you hear about us. There's much more to come. See you soon. Nitro to the moon.
Please, if you are somewhere here, join the team for the picture. So, Janka, Michal, if he's here, Valentina. So we are celebrating technology the whole evening, and the technology betrayed us, so we had to switch batteries for the microphone. Sorry for that. There is one more award waiting for us to give, and it's Popular Vote, or Public Choice Award, which all of you who participated at Slido decided which team was the most or the coolest, or the best, or the most sympathetic to you, according to your preferences. And the winner of this award is also going to receive a special prize from our friends from Doers United organization. And those are free tickets to Startup Reflect Festival in Cyprus, which is the largest tech and entrepreneurship event for startups, investors, and decision makers connecting Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. So thank you, Doers United, for this special prize. And Dari, can you join me on the stage? He will be awarding the team which received the most votes from all the audiences here and online. You can come here, probably. And I think we are going to showcase it, correct? So please let us see who was the most popular team of this evening. I can say, but I want to see it. Can you just put this screen on the Slido? Yeah, can you just put Slido voting on the big screen? And it's Team Nerve, so congratulations. So the 3 tickets for the international conference at Cyprus. Thank you very much, congratulations. And we are slowly approaching the end of official program of today. So I have 2 final announcements before I say goodbye. So Lifbee Academy 2024 is officially over. That means that we are starting to recruit for Lifbee Academy 2025. So applications are officially open. So if there is anyone who feels that he or she can benefit from our program, or they know people who would like to join, feel free to approach them, feel free to approach us. The people who are applying by the end of February have special 5% discount from the program fees. And the second announcement, after I finish talking, may I ask all the participants, or future alumni, but participants of Lifbee Academy 2024, and all the partners and all the jury members to come here for one last picture after I finish talking. Good? So that's it. That was everything from our official program. Special thanks to all of you, our partners, our collaborators, friends, alumni, participants. It was a pleasure to spend time with you. We hope you will stay for a bit longer and engage in conversation with us. Take a snack, take a food, take a drinks, and just make meaningful connections. And we can stay here for the after party until 11. Then the spot will kick us out. So thank you very much and have a wonderful evening.